What am I fighting for? Everything back and more. And I don't wanna let this go. I'm ready to settle the score. Get ready, 'cause this is
Good evening, friends, family, and strangers, and welcome back to Robot Wars Reborn Cup Season 3. We've had some great action so far in this competition, and the bracket gods have been busy all season long cooking up some great recipes and some great action. And today, hopefully, we've got another exciting heat and another set of matches that are gonna leave us feeling stuffed. One person I know that's ready to eat, myself. God damn, I'm so hungry. I'm trying to get through this quick, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. I need to eat something. Does anyone have any cookies or some snacks, chips, please? Anyway, Rich, take it away. Are you ready for this heat?
Thanks, Nick. Welcome to Heat D, ladies and gentlemen. We got 8 more robots ready to cause some wanton destruction for your viewing pleasure in the arena. 8 robots, 1 arena. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. And on that note, round 1 is ready. So elbows off the table, kids, because it's chow time. I would like the larger bowl, please. So, what's on the menu tonight for Heat D? Well, our special this evening is a matchup between the number 5 seed Atomic and Apex. But before that, we have an all-you-can-eat buffet featuring Spawn Again and Bot Ugly, along with the delicious delight of Stinger versus Drillzilla. But for starters, I would like to have an order of 101 and the Apocalypse.
From Kettering, 101.
101 is back after going 1-1 last season with a victory over Cyclone before getting thrown out of the arena by Diotor. Yes, you heard right, getting thrown out of the arena by Diotor. It doesn't get any more embarrassing than that, but hopefully 101 won't have to go 1-1 again this time around.
From Coleslaw, North Warwickshire, Apocalypse.
Apocalypse is another contender that went 1-1 last season with a win over Pussycat before being dismembered by 13 Black. And unlike the real world Apocalypse going on at this moment, this Apocalypse is meant to kill virtual robots rather than kill us all. At least that's what I've been told.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And we are underway with Heat D with 101 getting the first hit there with that spike. Apocalypse swings and misses all 3 times. That's 3 strikes. You're out, Apocalypse! No, I'm kidding. This is Robot Wars, not baseball. Oh, that was a nice grab there by Apocalypse, grabbing 101 not once but twice, and he ends up losing one of his arms. Take a look. Apocalypse going for a grab, and 101 fired his spike at just the right moment to lob off Apocalypse's right arm. Apocalypse taking some early damage, and so is 101 taking a couple of good shots there on the top from that axe of Apocalypse. You gotta be careful with that because 101's armor is not all that great. Both robots driving over the flame jet. I don't know why you're doing that. And Apocalypse just lost his other arm. Now he is just down to that axe. Take a look. 101 putting that spike to great use, breaking off both of Apocalypse's sidearms. And now Apocalypse is smoking. And we're all choking, and I'm not joking. There goes another piece right there. Was that from Apocalypse? Might have been. That piece was red, and the bowling balls came down in the drop zone for some reason. Somebody needs to fire the guy that operates the drop zone because their timing is way off every single freaking time a robot goes under the drop zone. They either wait like 30 seconds before activating it, or they just don't activate it at all. And Apocalypse is just billowing out smoke. And one more hit from 101, and that is going to do it for Apocalypse. He has been KO'd by the spike and the curse of 101. It was advancing to round 2. And just like that, the Apocalypse is no more. If only it were that easy and simple to take care of real-life apocalypses. But anyway, 101 is advancing to the next round, and next up, we've got Stinger against Drillzilla.
From Bramston in Lincoln, Stinger.
Stinger's entering his third attempt here in the Robot Wars Reborn Cup, and funny enough, in both of his previous appearances, he finished 1-1 both times. Will he end up with another 1-1 finish tonight, or can he perhaps break that pattern and go one step beyond this time?
From the United States, Drillzilla.
Drillzilla is another returning competitor who was shown the door by Iron Awe last season, or rather, the outside of the arena walls. But thankfully this time around he won't have to worry about that happening again. At least, not with Stinger in the arena with him. Well, just stay off the arena flipper and you should remain on your feet at all times.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1.
And so it's the Stinger against the Shuffler, as Drillzilla reverses into Stinger with that drill. What did I say about avoiding the arena flipper, Drillzilla? Don't disregard my advice. Drillzilla and Stinger clash weapon to weapon there, as Drillzilla now goes after Stinger, goes after a big beefy wheel with his claws. Oh, Stinger with a nice hit there on the side of Drillzilla. Don't underestimate Stinger's design. He may look only like a mace on wheels, but that mace on Stinger is quite a dangerous weapon, as Exterminator found out last season, as did Roadblock 2 seasons ago. Drillzilla now going in with the drill again, which has just been taken off by the mace of Stinger. Right here, pow! Off it goes. Drillzilla losing his namesake of a weapon as he reverses into the pit release button, looking to shove Stinger down that pit. Can he pull it off before Stinger gets the killing blow on him? Drillzilla had taken a lot of damage from that mace of Stinger. Drillzilla now got Stinger trapped within his claws, trying to prevent Stinger from getting another hit, and Stinger losing pieces of his mace courtesy of said claws of Drillzilla, who is in survival mode, trying to make sure that Stinger does not go in with that mace. Stinger making contact with the mace on Drillzilla, but not causing any potential damage. Drillzilla caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to avoid that mace as he takes off more pieces of that mace. Drillzilla close to making a comeback! Never mind. Stinger just landed the killing blow on Drillzilla, therefore negating his comeback. Take a look. Drillzilla causing some final damage, and that was enough to piss Stinger off to going for the kill. And so, the Stinger dominates the Shuffler as Drillzilla is once again taken out in the first round of the competition. Stinger marches on to round 2. And now for the second half of round 1, we've got Spawn again, and we've got Bot Ugly.
From East Tilbury, Spawn again.
New to the Robot Wars Reborn Cup, Spawn again is here with a very powerful wedge flipper that doubles as a Shrimag. He's so low to the ground, but his biggest downside is that it's kind of slow moving. Let's see if that will lead him to a downfall. Maybe, maybe not.
From Tyler, Texas, USA, Bot Ugly.
Not much I can say about this bot, given that his name says it all. But I digress. Bot Ugly is another newcomer to the Robot Wars Reborn Cup with a horizontal grabber similar to that of fellow competitor Jellyfish. Let's see how things will go in his first appearance here in the War Zone.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
So, it's a battle of the newcomers here, as Bot Ugly goes in on the attack, nipping away at Spawn again, who uses that flipper to break free from the grasp of Bot Ugly. Take a look. Spawn again showing us all just how powerful his flipper is, as he throws Bot Ugly end over end, not once but twice. Bot Ugly now right side up, trying to regain his composure and go back in on the attack, as Spawn again turns him onto his side. Can Bot Ugly get back down? Yes, he can. He's back on his feet and chasing after Spawn again, who opened up the pit. Bot Ugly, ooh, very nearly went out of the arena, and Spawn again going for another attempt to throw him out, but only succeeded in flipping him over. Bot Ugly, he looked like a camel spider with those giant mandibles. Take a look at this. Bot Ugly almost went out of the arena Dukes of Hazzard style, using Spawn again as a ramp, as Spawn again goes for another attempt to throw Bot Ugly out, but again, only managed to flip him over, as Bot Ugly now goes Om Nom Nom on the top of Spawn again, who pushes Bot Ugly toward and into the pit of oblivion. Bot Ugly got his rear wheel hanging out, trying to get out, and Spawn again is like, no you don't sir, you get your fat butt down there, I'm going through, and you're going out.
Cease.
You know, regarding my comment on Bot Ugly looking like a camel spider, I can see how he got his name. But camel spiders are beautiful, innocent little creatures. Why would anyone hate on those things? What are you doing, Richard? Do your job and focus on what you're supposed to be doing. What am I doing? That's right, I'm congratulating Spawn again on his victory and announcing our final match of the round, the 5th seed Atomic against Apex.
From Arley and Worcestershire, the number 5 seed, Atomic.
Atomic got the number 5 seed after making it to the grand final and losing to the eventual champion can opener. And you'll notice that he looks different than he did in the past 2 seasons. Yes, he's been given a makeover, but will this be a costly mistake? Should he have stuck with his original Unchained build? Let's see how things turn out here.
From Bristol, Apex.
Apex made his debut last season, and he didn't do too bad with a 1-1 finish after knocking out Ripper and then being knocked out by M2. He got a much improved horizontal bar spinner that will hopefully stay in place and not go skyrocketing through the arena wall, just like what happened with Apex in real life.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
It's a classic flipper versus spinner battle to end off round 1 of this heat, as Atomic got a near flip there on Apex, almost tipping him over. They say Apex did not have a stream mech, but we've seen him use that spinner to right himself a few times last season when he fought M2. That was a nice another little lift there by Atomic there, almost tipping Apex up and over. Oh! Atomic takes a slam on the side from Apex's spinner as he takes a piece of Atomic's flipper off. Take a look. Atomic taking some major damage already, losing a piece of his armament as he gets another near flip on Apex. Apex somehow able to hold his ground as he breaks off another piece of Atomic's flipper. The number 5 seed is already in big trouble as he goes for the pit release button, and for good reason. Atomic now got Apex in his grasp! Oh my god! Apex somehow avoided the pit and remained in the field of play. Weapon spinning full speed. Atomic is now in grave danger. Atomic almost got Apex over there, and Atomic is one hit away from being defeated, and that's it! Another seed bites the dust in the first round. Look at this. Just how in the hell did Apex not go down that pit or get flipped over right there? Well, in any case, the number 5 seed's out in the first round and Apex wins. Goodness me, the seeded machines are having no such luck so far this season. The best we've gotten was Storm 2 back in Heat B, and he only reached the Heat Final. So Atomic goes out, along with Bot Ugly, Drillzilla, and Apocalypse. And for round 2, we've got Spawn again in a meeting with Apex, but first up, it's going to be 101 taking on Stinger.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
We've got a pneumatic spike against an overhead spike. Stinger on the run, 101 on his tail, and speaking of tail, Stinger using his own tail to deliver a nice slam on the side of 101 right there, leaving behind a good side mark. And 101 lost the wheel the same time Stinger lost a piece of his mace. Both robots delivering a good amount of damage to each other as Stinger goes into thwack mode and delivers another whack on the other side of 101, and he just lost another piece of his mace. Whoa! 101 went airborne. Take a look. Over to the flipper he went. Yeet! And across the arena he goes. 101 now inverted, but that's okay. He can run either way up, so he can still attack Stinger regardless. And there goes another piece off of someone right there. Hard to tell where that came from. Might have been another piece of Stinger's mace. Well, whatever the case, Stinger delivered a couple more hits to 101, who is now smoking and in real danger. 101 now playing a game of survival. Can he avoid that mace of Stinger? And the answer is no, he cannot. Stinger has knocked 101 out fair and square, and he is moving on to the Heat Final. Well, now that 101's eliminated, he has given Stinger his dreaded curse. Let's just hope Stinger was already blessed before taking said curse. I'm pretty sure the majority of you won't get that reference. Anyway, Stinger's off to the Heat Final, where he shall meet either Spawn Again or Apex.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So, we've seen Apex survive one battle against a flipper already, taking out the number 5 seed Atomic. Let's see if he can survive another battle with a flipper. Well, that answers my question! Wow, what a quick victory by Spawn Again. 3 flips, 1 UDA victory. Spawn Again is going through to the Heat Final. And just like that, Apex is no longer the Apex Predator. See what I did there? Wait a second. Is that how Team Danby got the name for Predator, their BattleBots entry? Holy crap! I never thought of that until just now. Wow. Anyway, Stinger and Spawn Again shall face each other head-to-head in the Heat Final. And now, let's turn things back over to Nick for our Heat Final predictions.
Well, feast your eyes on that one, folks. Another seeded machine is gone. Rest in peace, Atomic. Even though it wasn't an epic exit, I guess we'll somewhat remember you as the bot that maybe was lucky to get a seed last season. I don't know, I feel like he kind of snuck his way to the grand final, but 2 bots that haven't snuck their way to the Heat Final are Stinger and Spawn Again. Spawn Again is a bot I think we all knew was going to be decent. It's a build by the Seaborg, and he's very good at making these powerful lifter-flipper combinations with low ground clearance. They're just hard to combat. And now we've got Stinger, who's always been the wacky Robot Wars design that sometimes works. We've seen how wacky designs work in BattleBots Reborn Cup when Huge made it to the round of 16, and Mecha Rampage made it to the quarterfinals. And hell, well, Killer Bee isn't a really weird design. It's a wedge, but it's still something that shouldn't have made it as far as it did, and it did. But here's Stinger, Heat Final. He's kind of capable. Yeah, he may be easy to flip, but he can also cause damage to a bot that's going to struggle to deal with that. Every time Spawn Again makes the flip, that spike's there in the way. So this will be an interesting Heat Final to see who will go through to the series semi-final. Rich, what is your prediction for these 2 maybe not so expected machines?
Oh man, I am so full from all that mayhem. I can't possibly eat another bite. Well, might as well start making room for dessert because the Heat Final is coming up very shortly. We've got Stinger, who had some pretty convincing wins over Drillzilla and 101. As I stated before, never underestimate Stinger because that mace of his is a very dangerous weapon, as Drillzilla and 101 found out the hard way. And Spawn Again, he had some pretty easy victories as well over Bot Ugly and Apex. But my question is, how durable is the armor of Spawn Again? Because Bot Ugly and Apex couldn't really cause any damage to Spawn Again, as he took them both out very quickly. But I think Spawn Again is going to have a much harder time against Stinger, not only because Stinger has a very damaging weapon, but because Stinger has those large wheels, he can easily drive off of Spawn Again, and it's going to make it much more difficult for Spawn again to maintain control over Stinger and try to throw him out of the arena or into the pit. And Stinger can run either way up, so flipping him around isn't really going to do much. So I think Stinger might have the upper hand here. And on that note, it's time for dessert. And unlike cake, it's not a lie. No, no. This is the real deal. This is the Heat Final.
Stinger. Spawn again.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And here we go for the conclusion of this heat. Spawn again with an early flip on Stinger. And again with another flip. Stinger got a lot of ground clearance that Spawn again can easily exploit, as we saw already with 3 flips already on Stinger. Stinger better start going into thwack mode here pretty shortly, because this keeps happening to him. Spawn again throwing Stinger around like he's rolling the bones here. Stinger with a glancing blow off of Spawn again, who throws Stinger over the drop zone. And Stinger just went wheelie wacko there for a second. Spawn again looked like going for the pit release, and that is indeed the case. He had made contact, and the pit is now open. As Spawn again lost a piece of his flipper, attempting to flip Stinger again. Look at that. Spawn again's flipper coming in contact with Stinger's arm, and a piece of Spawn again's arm fell right off. Spawn again flipping Stinger up in the air again, not once but twice, as Stinger tried to go into thwack mode and gets a nice hit there on the side of Spawn again, who is now using his arm as a clamp to grab a hold of Stinger's arm. Stinger able to get away and try to get some more hits there on Spawn again with his mace. Spawn again now pushing Stinger toward the wall. Stinger trying to get away, but you got to be careful. He's a two-wheeled bot. Two-wheeled robots are very hard to drive. Spawn again lost another piece of his flipper. Take a look. Spawn again tried to push Stinger closer to the wall, and that flip right there cost him another piece of his flipper. As Spawn again gets under Stinger again, who gets a nice hit on the side of his opponent. Stinger now going into thwack mode, and he goes over the arena flipper. You don't want to be there, Stinger. Same goes to you too, Spawn again. Spawn again losing another piece of his flipper in another attempt to toss Stinger up in the air. Stinger now starting to make a comeback here, starting to do some damage as he breaks off the rest of Spawn again's flipper right here, giving Spawn again the old 1-2, and just like that, Spawn again is now weaponless, and Stinger now has a golden opportunity here to go in for the kill, and he has succeeded. Stinger is the winner. And with that, Stinger takes the next spot in the series semifinals, and we are 1/3 finished with the heats. And so far, all of our series semifinalists are unseeded machines. The seeded ones, however, have had no such luck thus far, with 3 of the 4 seeds we've seen so far going out in the first round of the tournament. Will this curse of the seeds continue, or will their luck change in the future? What do you think, Nick?
Well, if tonight's episode is a 4-course meal, the cherry on top was definitely that last fight. Stinger has just won the heat. Stinger. The bot with the big wheels and the stick. The stick has stuck it to the rest of Heat D. Incredible. And meanwhile, Spawn again, as the Heat final loser, will be comparing himself to the other Heat final losers and hoping for the best. But he did alright, I feel like. I mean, maybe Bot Ugly is an easy match for him, but I feel like there's a theme coming along that everyone has at least one easy match in their run-in, so maybe he won't be feeling too bad. But Stinger won't be feeling bad at all because he's the Heat final winner and he knows what's in store next for him. As for what's in store next for this season, probably the seed losing, but beyond that, I have no idea anymore. I hope you guys had a great night. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next week for another one. Take care.